Hello, one and all. This is Luckless Lovelocks, and welcome back to Orwell. Why am I saying welcome back to Orwell? It's because we played the first season of this game about 2 years ago, and I really loved it. It was one of my Game of the Year nominees from 2016, and I've been looking forward to playing Orwell Ignorance is Strength, Season 2, for a while now. The way that they're going to release this is it's going to be 3 episodes released over the course of 5 weeks, so basically every 2 weeks they're going to release an episode. And if you're not familiar with the original game, it kind of deals with topics of state surveilling its own people, and also how information can be misinterpreted to disastrous consequences. And it seems like they're going to be going in a bit of a different direction with this second season. In their own words, they're saying that it's inspired by the rise of fake news, social media echo chambers, and the displacement of truth. This game really made me feel like a detective or a spy, and also really made me think about information in our day and age. So I'm looking forward to seeing what direction they take this in. And looks like it starts off with us creating a profile, so let's do that. Oh, the other thing that I did read about this is I believe the story takes place parallel to the first one. So it's happening at the same time, I guess. Which I wonder how that's going to work. Okay, great. Congratulations, you've been selected for special duty. Please create a profile. So first we have to select a picture. And it looks like it's different pictures from before. Okay. We played as Luckless last time. I think this time around we'll play as Lovelocks. So which picture are we going to select for Lovelocks? Let's take this one. This looks like a Lovelocks. Next step. Step 1 of 3. Okay, so we've got 3 steps here. Did you know you're one of 2,510 accepted applicants? You may now enter your email address. Oh, right, okay. They did this before. And they actually did send me emails. I'm going to put in my Luckless Lovelocks email. Entering your email address will allow us to inform you about updates on your case. The addresses entered will be handled with care and not be used for any other purposes. Well, you're seeing it on the video anyways. Okay. Be diligent. Your duty is to safeguard the nation. Please agree to the following terms. I am willing to severely affect the lives of citizens and non-citizens of the nation. I will do whatever is necessary to keep the nation from harm. While working, I will only adhere to the statutes and principles of the office. Let's agree. I guess we have no choice. I guess we could just turn the game off. But let's not do that. Let's continue. Welcome, Agent. Thank you for heeding the call of the office. I think that's a new entity in this world. Agent Investigator Pairing. There are no investigators available for pairing at this time. Please refer to the regular Orwell program. Yeah, I remember that we had a supervisor in the first one. Is that what this is? Is that what this is saying? There's no supervisor for us? I'm not sure. Aptitude test. In order to qualify for special duty within Orwell, taking the aptitude test is mandatory. The test requires you to complete a set of tasks. Follow the on-screen instructions carefully and answer truthfully to the best of your beliefs. Note that an insufficient test result will disqualify you for special duty permanently. We better not screw up then. Which of the following statements are true to your attitude? Drag and drop at least one of the highlighted statements, data chunks, into the answer sheet on the left of the screen. Note that your choices are permanent. I want to be a pioneer in the most advanced security program. I want to make the nation a safer place. I like spying on people. I want to protect people from harm. I'm in it for the money. I mean, I guess we're going to go into this with positive intentions. I want to make the nation a safer place. Drag it over. Okay, number 2. I want to be... Oh, really? Which of the following statements are true to your... Oh, I see. We drag each of them over. Oh my god. I don't know. I don't know. If I was to answer this honestly, I don't really like spying on people. I want to protect people from harm, yeah. I am interested in this. I want to be a pioneer in the most advanced security program. I'm not really... Those other 2 don't really apply to me, I'd say. So let's move on to the next step. Which of the following persons do you consider likely of having committed a crime? Oh my god. Jeez. None of them? Can I just go next step? I mean, we can't just tell by their pictures. Next step. I can. Okay, good. Which of the following statements do you consider to be true, if anything? An unjust law can and should be violated. There's no such thing as a justified lie. There are 2 sides to every story. Yes. Yes, definitely. A government should safeguard the citizens by any means necessary. No. Absolute truth exists. I actually kind of agree with that. I think there is an absolute truth. Getting there is very difficult, though. Can and should be violated. I don't know about should be violated. Can be violated, maybe. I'm gonna drag that one over. There is no such thing as a justified lie. I'm kind of agree with that. I'm gonna go with these 2 because those 2 I kind of strongly agree with. The other ones I agree with parts of them, but not the whole thing. So let's move on. Given the choice, would you prefer to have your medical record or your dating profile investigated? My dating profile, I'd say. Personally. How about neither? Which information from your dating profile would you give to an investigator willingly? Jeez. None of it? Can I just go to the next step? I can, okay. I wouldn't give any of that stuff over willingly. Confronted with the situation below, which action would you take? Your best friend boasts about having been accepted into Orwell. Since you're working for Orwell yourself, you know that talking about your job is punishable by imprisonment. Without saying anything to my friend, I informed the national authorities at the next possibility. I warned my friend I am working for Orwell too, and that I will have to inform the authorities if this continues. I feign ignorance, but hint my friend talking about such a delicate job might not be advisable. You know, think about it. I would do this. Probably. To be honest. I wonder, are we gonna fail this? Insufficient results. I failed the aptitude test. You'll be disqualified permanently. The office has rejected you as an agent for special duty due to your answers in the aptitude test. But if you ask for it, the test shall be reset and you'll be given another chance. What happens if we accept the disqualification?
Hello, O'Brien. Is that you?
I have to disappoint you.
What? Raban, what? How? After all this time? I didn't think you'd...
Remember what you did? Again, I must disappoint you. I've not been blessed with a short memory.
What? Raban, listen. It wasn't me. I don't know anything about what happened there. That's the truth.
Truth. See, I never had much regard for the Bible, but there's one remarkable, groundbreaking moment. Before being sentenced to death, Jesus goes on and on about being a witness for the truth, but Pilate defies him with the simplest of all questions. What is truth? It is this particular question I've been pondering over for a very long time now. How much of the information ending up on our screens every single day has passed through so many other minds before, each one with their own bias and agenda. It is all cut down to size, proportioned, ready to be consumed. And yet we greedily swallow it all in blissful ignorance, because our hunger is unending.
Stop the nonsense and get to the point. What do you want?
To ask you a question. What is truth?
I don't understand.
Now you're the disappointing one. You of all people should, Oleg Bakay. There is only one thing about truth that is certain. Truth is dead. As you soon will be.
What? Why? You? How did you manage? How? Vart! Vart!
Okay, that's cool. They didn't have voice acting in the first game. Ampleford. Here we go. I can't believe we're in this again. So you would accept disqualification just like that. You're either downright stupid or you are very loyal towards us. You might be exactly whom I need. My name is Appleford. I'm part of a special division within the government, the office. We get called in for the delicate matters. A man called Oleg Bakay disappeared a couple of days ago. The last we heard of him was the call I just played to you. I've added a transcript of that dialogue to your reader tool. You can read it again or listen to the recording. When you're done, open the unknown person profile on the left. So this is the whole transcript. I mean, I don't think we need to play it again. We just heard it. April 13th, 2017. 8 a.m. So, I see that you're not paired with an investigator. I guess I better walk you through some of the basics then. Within Orwell, you take the role of the investigator. Oh, this is interesting. I wonder if we're supposed to be paired with our old investigator. Mind you, you're not a regular investigator, though, but rather an agent on special duty. I don't mind going through this stuff again. Your main task is to search online documents and extract relevant pieces of data called data chunks. Those data chunks appear in a multitude of documents, but will always relate to our investigative target in some way. In our case, that target is Bakay. For starters, upload Oleg Bakay's name from the transcript to his file by dragging it into the profiler on the left. Good. This profile is now primed on Oleg Bakay. Now, other data chunks related to this person might appear. Check the transcript for newly found data chunks. So what do we have here? Truth is dead. It's talking about how he's going to kill, who was the other character? Vart? Kai was threatened with death by this Vart character. O'Brien. We found one related document. That's an odd thing to say, isn't it? We're taking that as a death threat, as did the National Beholder. Now, Whenever you upload a data chunk, Orwell will search for online documents with related content and add them to your bookmarks. Was threatened with death. Or anything else here? No. Here's our bookmarks. So there was a story in the National Beholder, which was a paper in the previous game as well. Is anti-Cassart blog involved in Pargesian soldiers' disappearance? The National Beholder is the most respectable news site in the nation. You may browse their headlines freely to get informed. The recording of the call you heard ended up in their newsroom. Why? That's a piece of the puzzle we're missing right now. However, this article is a good starting point for our investigation on Oleg Bakai. To proceed, please adapt his picture and profession. Okay, so this is on April 11th, 2017, so this is a couple of days ago. Recorded call indicates direct involvement of blog The People's Voice in the disappearance of Pargesian Army officer Oleg Bakai. Okay, so he's a army officer. That's going to be important. Occupation. As you see, Oleg Bakai is an important figure in the Parges army, our neighboring country. We're very concerned about his fate. We also have a picture. Not exactly the most tender smile, but that's not what we're here for after all. Related document. Okay, before we go to the related document, let's finish off this story. Gone missing. Trifolith Bonton. Bonton is that was one of the cities. That's where there was like these bombings happening in Bonton. That's what we were investigating last time. An audio recording of a phone conversation between Pargesian Army officer Oleg Bakai and Rabin Vart. I'm not sure. I don't remember how it's supposed to be pronounced, so I apologize if I mispronounce things. Was leaked to the National Beholder late Monday evening. Rabin Vart is known as the editor-in-chief and founder of the highly controversial blog, The People's Voice. In the ominous recording, which has since been verified by experts, the editor directly threatens the officer, claiming that Bakai would be dead soon. In the light of Bakai's recent disappearance, experts have developed a theory that the blog might be directly involved in or may otherwise have incited the incident. The fact that the recording was leaked by an anonymous source to the National Beholder has been interpreted as a direct threat to the Cassart administration of Parges and their alliance with the nation, which the blog openly and aggressively opposes. Rabin Vart. That's the name that Oleg Bakai mentioned during the call. As you see, a new profile has been added, but since Vart isn't a target person, Orwell will not search for related documents. Let's focus on Bakai for the moment. We'll get back to Vart in a second. So we've got a relationship there. I like how it tracks everything. And we do have the option to not share information to Orwell if we don't feel like it's relevant. And the reason why we might not want to do that is because it might give Orwell the wrong impression about a person or some event that occurred. So we always have to be on the lookout for sharing too much information. Because we don't want to get people in trouble if they haven't done anything wrong. Pargesian Army file for Oleg Bakai. Wait, is there more here? What this usually means is that there's some other piece of information that we've missed. If there's a star there. Is there another story? Oh, home. We can go to... Ah, okay. Bomb obliterates Freedom Memorial and kills 3. So this is exactly what happened during the first season. This is happening at the same time. Negotiations in Trifolith failed. Pargesian president aborts negotiations with opposition. Violent riots in Trifolith. Blaine encourages renewal. So Triflith must be like the capital of what was it, Pargesia? Pargesian president aborts negotiations with opposition. Violent riots at Triflith. Blaine encourages renewal. Too common in the shattered city of Triflith. Peace negotiations in the riot-ridden Pargesian capital city, Triflith, had been aborted without any result last night. Independent sources report that President Cassart abruptly cut off communication with opposition representatives, as the latter presented a tangible plan for the organization of re-elections. The news about the premature cancellation of the negotiations caused thousands of people to resume demonstrations in the capital. It has been reported that demonstrators wearing hoods threw incendiary material into shop windows and onto cars. The police struggled to keep the situation under control. Prime Minister Blaine, who is the Prime Minister, I remember him from the first game, of the nation, stated his worries about the negative developments regarding the political situation of the neighboring country, and has requested both sides to resume diplomatic discussions. Abruptly cut off communications with the opposition representatives. It's make people protest, okay. Movie shooting completed. I don't know. Is this going to be... I don't think this is going to be important to us, but let's take a look. Gray Shadow Saga is finalized. I don't think this is going to be important. So why is there... Is this important? Something from here, maybe? Maybe I should read this just so you, if you didn't see the first game, you had some context for what's going on in the other story, which I will, I'll link the playlist in the description of this video if you want to watch me play through that. And I really suggest you watch that because that game is really good. The story is really interesting. At approximately 7:50 p.m. on Wednesday evening, an explosive device detonated at the Freedom Plaza in Bonton. According to official police reports, 3 people were killed and at least 5 bystanders were severely wounded. Freedom Memorial was nearly completely destroyed. Police forces closed off the area immediately. Experts believe the attack was an act of terror, with police confirming that the explosive device was homemade and triggered from a short distance away using a cell phone signal. Police reports also confirm that several hours earlier, an anonymous letter containing the first 3 stanzas of the German folk song, "The thoughts are free," not going to take a shot at that, had reached local authorities. Prime Minister Blaine immediately issued a public press statement firmly condemning the assault and put the nation on high alert until the perpetrators had been brought to justice. I see. It wanted us to check each of the stories. Let's take a look at this army file. Same picture. So he was a captain. Agent. You may have noticed by now that for every data chunk you upload, 10 minutes of time pass due to Orwell's extensive search algorithm. Oh. I didn't actually notice that. I saw the bar coming across, but I didn't notice the time changing. That's different. The events around us will unfold whether or not we are making progress on our case. Keep this in mind. There it goes. So we only want to grab the stuff that's the most important information to grab to keep things moving along. I think the call sign is going to be important, I think, actually. Janice. How fitting. He still goes by his call sign. I'm granting you access to our database, which you should have a look at. You'll understand it better after you see the files. It's got more to look at. Is this worth the time? This adds a whole other dimension to what we're doing now because we need to be conscious of the time. Let's take a look at the record and see if there's anything more important to upload first. Volunteered for military service, basic combat training completed, assigned for protection of Prava from the ongoing threat through anti-government group forces of true Parges. during Prava Civil War. Promoted to corporal, promoted to sergeant. Awarded Medal of Honor for saving civilians. Wounded in combat, officially absent from service. Returned, reinstated as captain by privileged command. In charge of 1st Infantry Division in Prava. Worked with 1st Law Enforcement Battalion of the Army of the Nation, training local forces in Prava. Let's take a look at the next piece of info before we report any of those. Well, yes, we are in fact worried about our relations with Parges because of Bakai. You'll see that the whole truth is more complex. As you're not a simple investigator, you have access to an Orwell build designed to meet the specific needs of the office. We can utilize the data stored in the profiler in the left to circumvent certain restrictions that would otherwise bar us from making progress. Make good use of this ability within our database and the data stored in Bakai's profile so far to solve my little mystery. We do this? Janice. You did it. Well done. I'll leave you to your well-deserved info for a moment to truly understand why this case is so precarious. We've got a date of birth, Pargesian, address redacted, department redacted, assignment, confidential informant as officer of the Pargesian army. Tends to use names of people close to him as passwords. This has been strongly discouraged, but so far ignored by the subject. He's an informant. Yes, Bakai is our informant. Placed inside the Pargesian army for years. Now vanished into thin air. He surely grasped the danger this poses should it ever come out. We need to understand what happened, and then possibly retrieve him, or contain the damage. To get to the bottom of this, we will have to investigate the person who called him last. Raban Vart. One of those. You already found a trace to him before on the Beholder. I'll turn Vart into a target person now. Time to pick up from there. Okay. I'm not gonna... See, I don't know if it's worth it reporting this information. We can always report it later if we need to. Raban Vart is known as the editor-in-chief and founder of the highly controversial blog The People's Voice. Maybe we can get access to that blog. The People's Voice. We have heard of them. This preposterous news site has people rallying for protests and parches for years. Judging by that call, Raban Vart and Oleg Bakai seemed well acquainted, even if it isn't the most friendly relationship, apparently. Your task here is twofold, Agent. First and foremost, we are to locate Oleg Bakai. Then, in order to understand whether Vart is behind Bakai's disappearance, we need to find out what connects the two in the first place. More time passes. The People's Voice. Let's check out the blog. One more thing. Before I let you roam freely, remember that we are bound to the division of powers defined by the Ethical Codex. Orwell was designed in such a way that not one person alone can look at the documents and interpret the data to make a judgment. I am the one who decides what to do with said information and to take action, the advisor. You, on the other hand, are the one doing the searching for data, as well as deciding what to upload, as you will often find misleading and false information. Try disabling data chunks that seem illegitimate or unimportant to you in the data chunk information window. You're now leaving charted territory, as far as I'm concerned, and I have to rely on the data you upload to make my calls. Doubt anything you read, especially when it comes to the people's voice. Don't give me wrong info to work with. I'm counting on you. And here we are. We're on our own. Oh man, the pressure. The people's voice, saying out loud what needs to be said. Hashtag save Parges. The nation burns again. 3 people are murdered because of Blaine's incompetence. But guess who will be blamed? Talking about the bombings. Blood runs the streets of the nation. And as it sees itself confronted with the next big act of terror, right in its heart, the capital, Bonton, 3 people have been brutally massacred right under the government's ever so watchful eye, and much to the surprise of all media outlets. It didn't surprise me, not one bit. You all know it, even though no one dares to speak out. The nation is corrupt. The nation, its corrupt leadership, and all of their deluded flock who elected them carry the weight of the Freedom Plaza bombing victims on their shoulders. So if we want to, we can just disable the chunks if we feel like it's not important. Their false promises of safety have finally been unmasked for what they really are, a means to put themselves in power and uphold their reign of terror. What a farce this country is. Thanks to the people's voice and our efforts to get the facts out to the people, the situation in the nation has recently been rather calm. Still, there's no doubt that head puppet master Blaine will point his finger towards us Pargesians. Exactly this has been happening for years, dating all the way back to the so-called incident in 2008, when the entire Pargesian people were blamed by the party. Here's what I say to that. As long as Blaine and Cassart remain in power, the best thing the nation can do is what it's actually doing right now, burning down to the ground. If we want to report any of this. So if we go over here, we can see our objectives. Determine the connection between Rabin Vart and Oleg Bakai. Find the whereabouts of Oleg Bakai. Quote of the day, 3 things cannot be long hidden: the sun, the moon, and the truth. Hey, and we even have a weather report. 12 degrees. Today is a bright, cold day. Listen, hey, it's been minus 30 outside for a while here. 12 degrees Celsius is not cold. Some clouds will show up in the early afternoon, only to give way again to a clear sky at sun. I would pray for this weather right now. So we have to determine the connection and find out where Oleg Bakai is. Rather calm. I don't know if this helps us to towards either of those objectives. Has actively calmed the situation in the nation recently. Blames assault on Freedom Plaza on the government. Let's check out the rest. President Puppet stops re-election plans. Hold Cassart accountable for his breaking his word. President Puppet stops re-election plans. April 11th. Author Rabin Vart. Rejoice! Re-elections at last! This was your thinking last week as much as it was mine. Finally, years of torment will come to an end. But no, all of a sudden, President Puppet has taken a big step back from the promise to hold re-elections. Now he acts like he never even knew it was expected. Let alone, there's so much anger in these words. Let alone that he is the one who had announced it to the public. He must either be suffering from a severe case of dementia or simply be a liar. Does President Cassart think we're downright stupid? How does he even dare? We're not blind. We're not deaf. For all we know, Cassart is being controlled by the nation's shady administration. We will oppose this. Cassart and his puppeteer Blaine must be held accountable for their repeated crimes against the Pargesian people. They have betrayed and bled out our poor country for far too long already. This is a call to arms. Stand up march the streets of Trifolith tomorrow. Updates on this via our Blabber account. Okay, let's see if we can get access to that. Hey, is called to take to the streets of Trifolith on April 12th. That would have been yesterday. One related document found. And he said, let there be riots. And there were riots. How did this man gain how did this man gain such an immense influence over his followers? We probably have a news source now. There we go. We've got a picture. About us. We are an independent collective devoted to providing you with the facts that mainstream media outlets try to hide. The editors are Ilya Vart, brother, Shannon Calio, media watchdog Daniel Buchanan, field reporter Parges. Supported through donations. As a non-profit organization, we are funded solely through donations. The People's Voice is supported by the Angels of the Nation Network, a volunteer team who provide development assistance in Parges. Got an email here. Very good. This will allow you to observe his work email account through the listener tool. Once Ruben Vart receives an email or sends one through that account, you'll be notified and be able to read it. Let's find out about this Angels of the Nation. Supported by a national donation network? If we were to prove that Rabin Vart is using the donations for something harmful, we could pull the plug on him. My question is, like, how important are these data chunks? Believes Pargesian President Kassart to be nation-controlled. This doesn't really take us towards our objectives, so I'm not going to report those yet. I'm gonna sit on those. Is there something in here? Military affiliation, 1st Infantry Division, Prava. Medal of Honor. Pargesian. Veteran of the Pargesian Civil War. I wonder if that's how the two of them know each other. Let's see if we can find some kind of indication that he was also part of that Civil War. Orwell notifies me you just encountered a conflicted data chunk. I had the feeling this will be a more frequent thing from now on. If Orwell deems the contents of two data chunks to be contradictory, it will notify you by flagging them as conflicted. You'll have to make a choice, which one of the conflicted data chunks to upload, or to upload neither. When uploading a conflicted data chunk, the one you leave behind will be marked as invalid forever. So please be vigilant. Speak your mind. People's Voice. Independent collective of information providers saying out loud what needs to be said. Trifolith riots, say Parges. 247,000 listeners. Showing reactions to is anti-Kassart blog involved in Pargesian soldiers' disappearance. Is anti-Kassart blog involved in Pargesian soldiers? Okay. This is reactions to that particular story. from the National Beholder. The lone Triflis survivor. People's Voice. What did you mean when you said Oleg Bakai would not be missed? Did you retire him? People's Voice responds, this is a misunderstanding. I am not happy either that Oleg Bakai has gone missing. This soldier is not the one to be blamed here. Not the one to blame here. One thing is certain, Oleg Bakai will certainly not be missed. He's unhappy about Oleg Bakai's disappearance. Or is happy. Satisfied. So we have to decide between those two things. This article is ridiculous propaganda. Mainstream media have been manipulating your thoughts since the dawn of humanity. Time to get rid of this enemy. I don't know if we have enough info to decide on this conflict. And is this worth reporting? We can't take a look at Survivor 94's account. I'm gonna report this. The wrong profile. A bloody mess, that civil war. Parges has suffered a great deal from it. So did the nation. I'm just gonna pass. Still no communication from the email. He would have received a medal. He received a Medal of Honor for saving civilians. Can I search? Oh, interesting. Can I search the database? Insert call sign. Unknown. Time doesn't pass when we do that. No, okay. We're gonna have to report something, I guess. Really, I think it's waiting for us to make a decision on the conflicted data chunks. If he knew that he was a double agent, he was a spy, then he would be happy that he disappeared, right? I want to go back to that conversation. Hello, O'Brien, is that you? I have to disappoint you. Vart, Robin Vart? How? After all this time, I didn't think you'd... Remember what you did? Again, I must disappoint you. I have not been blessed with a short memory. It wasn't me. I don't know anything about what happened there. That's the truth. Okay. That's not really... That's a bunch of... It's not really... There's no facts there. What is truth? I don't understand. It's only one thing of truth is certain. Truth is dead. Soon it will be. Maybe we should just report this stuff. See if we can intercept an email. Paragon of Honor. No. Let's try reporting this. Now that's a classic one. Demonize the free press straight from the dictator's guide to supreme rule. Oh, there we go. Okay. There we go. we've got an email. Good luck. From unknown person to Rabban Vart. Rabban, so I see you've decided to make use of my gift to you. A good choice. I'm of the impression everything will come to pass exactly as I anticipated. Good luck, and I hope you will achieve our common goals. Your fan, David Johns? A fan. Cute. That's all that we get? Make use of my gift to you. I'm so conflicted about this. He's unhappy about Oleg Bakay's disappearance, even though he says that he's going to die soon. I still get the impression that he wouldn't have liked for him to go. I need more information. Maybe we can try this. No. Let's try reporting this stuff. I need more info. Nothing. And I don't think there's anything more to report. Why is there a star here? Oh, history. Shoot, I missed that. History of bravery. Our forces have a long tradition of protecting the Pargesian country and our values courageously and relentlessly. The Pargesian army, as it exists today, was formed by General Demyan Kassart as he freed Parges from the oppressive Fiad regime in 2004. In spite of the successful re-establishment of peace and freedom in Parges, evil forces still threatened the Pargesian people. The hate group Forces of True Parges, FTP, caused a new conflict in 2006 by evoking a civil war among Pargesian citizens using hate speech and propaganda to pull the shaken people of Parges on their side. In spite of the Pargesian army successfully defeating the renegade group in 2008 with the help of the National Army, their guerrilla war remained and peaked in the attack on our allies. The nation, in form of the incident in 2008. The goal was to promote fear against Parges and Pargesian citizens and cause civil unrest between the two nations. The Blaine administration of the nation then returned to help Parges control the troubling situation in regards to the FDP in our country. There's a welcome too. Nothing to report here. In case you're wondering, yes, that really is the same person. Oh, we didn't register the phone. Luckily, Bakay is using one of our registered phone devices to communicate with us. It seems to be online right now. Okay, this is important. You can access it using the Insider tool, which I will unlock for you now. Oh, here we go. This is what we need. A supporter? Pretty unspecific, huh? Oh, another email. Looks like Rabban Vart responded to David Johns. David, thank you for your ongoing support and your kind words. As always, you have proven yourself to be a true supporter of our cause. You'll want to watch the news. I have no doubt there will be a great stir very soon. I think that's important to report. Maybe we can do something about that. For all we know, this guy has been trying to cook up a large-scale stir for years. I don't see it happening quite yet. Yes, he has succeeded to some extent with the ongoing riots, but we can keep the situation under control. Oh, like Bakai's phone. Okay. Of course. Bakai has locked his phone with our own encryption tool. But I'm afraid not even Orwell can break that. You'll have to do this the old-fashioned way, by finding and applying Bakai's key. See if you can find a hint to discover his password. We may have to dig a little deeper to uncover it, though, so it may be advisable to check other resources first. We had a hint on what his password might be, but hold on. There's another headline. Crime rate continues to drop. The Ministry of Security has presented the latest numbers on crime statistics in the country. Never before have there been so few violent crimes. On Thursday morning, the Ministry of Security published the new crime statistic report for the preceding year. According to the report, the number of recorded criminal offenses decreased by 4.8% in comparison to last year. The crime rates have been continuously declining over the past several years as a direct result of the implementation of the safety bill. Secretary of Security Catherine Delacroix appeared very pleased by these numbers and declared this development an outstanding result of successful safety policy. When confronted with the recent assault in Bonton, she once again admitted the ambitious goals of the government have not yet been accomplished. She further mentioned that activities are currently being established which will have a considerable impact of preventing further incidents. I think she's talking about the Orwell program. I'm not going to read this quite yet. This is actually something that I think I read through in the first game. Oh, there's something. Maybe there's something to report though. There's Robert Blaine. There's Scott Gallagher, Catherine, Peter Faulkner, Commander-in-Chief of the nation's forces, the Parges peacekeeping missions. The terrorist incident of 2008 was the terrible consequence of the premature retreat of our troops from Parges. Send our highly reliable soldiers back to safeguard the region for the good of the inhabitants of both countries alike. Okay. Nothing to report here. Still have to decide on that. Let's try to figure out this password. Oh, I wonder. It said, tends to use names of people close to him as passwords. Of course, we do inspect and observe the habits of our agents. What did you expect? Is it gonna be Rabin Vart's name? I was gonna say, they don't seem that close. Not gonna be this guy. We need to find someone that he's close to. A name of someone that he's close to. Do we have enough information for that, though? Maybe I should just... We don't really have an address or anything like that. I don't know if it's important. We know he's Pargesian. Is that worth reporting? I'm not sure. That could be important, that he blames the government and not Bakai. Rabban Vart seems like a real charmer after all that the office has learned about him, which is not overly surprising after that phone call, I guess. He won't stop exploiting assaults and misfortune of the nation for his own ends. This moment isn't any different. Cannot help but wonder what that donation network of his would say if someone tipped them towards this statement. Oops. Did she just do that? I don't know. I guess we have to make a choice. I'm gonna keep reporting these things, and because I need more information. I'm hoping to get a link to something else. President Puppet, I've seen the memes before. The nation would have zero factual benefit from control over Parges. I guess we're treading into territory where facts aren't given any weight. Oh, please, please. I remember asking you explicitly to not give me any misinformation to work with. How does this statement look to you? Does it look legitimate? Perhaps picking you as an agent wasn't the best choice after all. Yeah, okay. We're just reporting everything instead of reporting the most important stuff. So I guess we have to make a choice here. So what does this say again? The ominous recording, which has since been verified by experts, the editor directly threatens the officer, claiming that Bakai would be dead soon. In light of Bakai's recent disappearance, experts have developed a theory that the blog might be directly involved. The recording was leaked by an anonymous source, so Nash Holder has been interpreted as a direct threat to Qassar administration. So basically what the People's Voice is saying here is that they're lying. So who do we believe? I guess that's all that we have to go on, really. This is interesting. More people upvoted this. I'm going to report this one. Is unhappy about Oleg Bakai's disappearance. I don't know if I really have enough information to make an informed decision here, but I'm gonna roll with this and see where it takes us. He isn't happy about Oleg's disappearance? How come I don't buy it? Yes, of course. The death threat uttered in the phone call, that's why. Okay, what does that mean? People's Voice admin panel. What have you done, Revan? Shannon Carrillo, contributor. It sounds like they're accusing us of having kidnapped or killed this man. What have you done to Oleg Bakai, Revan? Tell us the truth. Lead editor says, let's not jump to conclusions. I'm sure that Rabban can offer an explanation. It just sounds a bit too, it sounds too direct, you know? It sounds fishy to me. I'm starting to doubt whether TPV represents what I stand for. We sell ourselves as a blog for the Pargesian people, defending their rights and protecting their freedom. As part of that, it's our duty to criticize the Pargesian government, and the military is a prime target. However, I never signed up to be labeled as a criminal. We don't threaten people, we don't kidnap people, and we certainly do not kill people. There we go. Calm down, Shannon. Since when do you believe that the National Beholder prints? With the National Beholder prints? They're only trying to frame us. I have nothing to do with Bakai's disappearance. Did I call him? Sure. Did I get a little aggressive? I did. You see, Bakai and I, we have a history. Before we left Parges, Bakai had his mind set on joining the Pargesian army. He asked me to take care of his 14-year-old daughter, and I said yes. Aha. Definitely want to report that. Ah, I see. The two knew each other back from where they lived in Parges. Well done, Agent. We found a connection. That's what they were looking for. With the basic connection between the two clarified, our in-depth research of the lead up to this phone call can now begin. I need you to investigate and upload anything that you think is relevant and accurate about the background of these two. Discard anything else. From what you gather, I will put together a theory about what happened and what we're going to do about it. At the very least, we need a solid motive for Raban Vart making this threat to Oleg Bakai, and an explanation as to how Vart could contact him on his protected phone. If you need to keep track of your objectives, click on the Orwell eye in the upper left corner of the screen or press escape. Okay, I want to follow this thread a bit. He asked me to take care of his 14-year-old daughter, and I said yes. But soon after, instead of returning to his daughter, I learned he had left for the nation. He said he wanted to find work there. So that's one theory on where he went. Then all of a sudden, he returns and ranks up to an officer in the army. I'm fairly certain he works for the nation's government in some way. However, I have nothing to do with his disappearance and would never kidnap or kill a man. Do not believe the lies of the National Beholder. When was this? This is April 11th. I was unaware of all this. I believe you, but I really think you should watch what you say, Raban. This is starting to get way too tense. This is getting people worked up in both countries. Daniel Buchanan says, I'm with Shannon on this. I also believe you, Raban. But you should really choose your words more wisely. We always wanted to criticize. One could even say fight against the Cassart administration and their shady ties to Blaine. But we don't want them to regard us as national enemies. And this fight should remain one of words. You guys are disappointing me. I thought you had it in you. Don't let them intimidate you like that. These are just empty threats. We have to stand our ground, now more than ever. We're not saying we disagree with you, Raban. We're just saying, watch what you say. I'm gonna report this too. Raban Vart mixes truth and lies adeptly to trick people. Take whatever he publishes with a grain of salt, as there are typically few truths. Be very, very careful when dealing with him, Agent. I have to rely solely on you. Shit. There's a log. Changed header image on profile page. Okay. Made changes to donations plugin. Signed off pending article. Okay, we've got some more connections. Well, this seems like a good time to wrap up this first episode. So we found a connection between the two, Oleg Bakai and Raban Vart. Raban Vart was taking care of his daughter, and I'm pretty sure that we could probably use Bakai's daughter's name to get access to his phone, but we just need to dig down a bit deeper to find out that information. So when we come back, we're going to continue these objectives. Find a motive for Raban Vart's threat against Oleg Bakai. find a way how Rabanvart was able to contact Oleg Bakai, and find the key to Oleg Bakai's phone and unlock it. I think we know what to do there. And then obviously this is all going to lead to where Oleg Bakai is. Thank you all so much for watching. I always just ask this of the first video because it helps other people to find my channel. If you don't mind liking it, it really does help me out a lot. I hope you enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to the next one. This is Luckless Lovelock signing off for now, and I love you all.